friends, welcome back to my channel. We are going to read this story. It's called Growing Vegetables. It is written by Lois Ehlert, and Lois also drew all of the beautiful pictures. In this story, we're going to learn about a gardener that gets plants from her garden to make a vegetable soup. So I want you to pay close attention to the steps that she uses to make the soup. Here we go. Growing vegetable soup. Dad says we are going to grow vegetable soup. We are ready to work, and our tools are ready too. Let's look at the tools they have to use. They use a shovel, a rake, and a hoe. We are planting the seeds. Let's check what all of the labels are. Do you remember, friends, what we said labels are? Labels give us the words that describe the picture. So let's see here. Seed package. Here's the seed package. The soil. We know the soil is on the ground. And they're going to tell us the different tools that they used. We have a hole, and we could use that with a shovel to get a hole. We have a green bean seed, which we're growing in class and at home. A pea seed, corn seed, zucchini squash seed, and carrot seeds. And all the sprouts. We have a broccoli sprout, a tomato sprout, potato eyes, set onions, pepper, cabbage, peat moss pot, and a trowel. That is a mini shovel. It's called a trowel. And giving them water. So here's the next step is feeding the plants with water. And we know we use a water can to give our plants water. And here is our labels once again. And our labels are telling us which each plant is in the garden and where you can find that plant in the garden. Why do you think it's important to label the plants? Because what if you need an onion, but you accidentally grab a radish? That wouldn't taste very good in your meal when you needed an onion. And waiting for warm sun to make them grow. So we know we need sun, water, and soil for our plants to grow. And grow some more. Look, the plants are getting much taller. And grow into plants. That's the final stage of the life cycle of a plant. Other than it dying or dropping seeds and then it starts over again. Here are the new plants, what they look like. Let's look at their labels. So there's a net. Nets help for vines to grow. So they have some support when they're growing up and going higher and spreading out. We have a stake, which helps keep the net up. Pea plant, the zucchini squash, the soil, the squash blossom. So a squash turns into a flower. Wow. And a squash bud. We watch them and weed. Why do you think it's important to weed a garden? Weeding means to pull out the plants you don't want to grow in the garden. Until the vegetables are ready for us to pick. So you have to wait until they're ripe and ready to be picked from the garden. Or dig them up. For our plants and our vegetables that grow underground, we have to dig them up with a trowel or a shovel. Or in this instance, they're using a rake. And carry home. Then we wash them. And cut them and put them in a pot of water. The water should be boiling, don't you think, friends? And would it be safe If you put your hand in the water, no, because it's way too hot. It'll burn your hands. So we have our soup pot, our soup ladle, which gets liquid and food out of the pot. It can hold a lot of food and liquid. That's why we use it to test things from like soup. And then they labeled all of our vegetables that we used from the garden and cooked them into vegetable soup. So that's our last step, was to mix them and cook them in the soup. But did they eat it yet? At last, it's time to eat it all up. It was the best soup ever. And of course, you've got to use a soup spoon to eat your soup and drink the liquid. And we can grow it again next year. And they give us a recipe, friends, so we can make our own soup at home. Very cool story. We learned all about the different tools they use to help plant their garden, like a shovel, a rake, a hoe, and a trowel. And the watering can, we knew these, so this was refreshers. We learned the steps it takes to grow a garden and to cut them up and make them into a vegetable soup. Yummy! That sounds delicious right now. Friends, I want you to think about the steps, and I want you to help me answer some questions in Class Dojo. So again, we just read Growing Vegetable Soup, and it was written, that means they wrote the words, by Lois and illustrated by Lois Ehlert. That means that they also drew the pictures. Wow, what a creative person. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I wish you well. Goodbye.